Let's remember these lyrics real quick before we break this down. Ain't 20v1, it's 1v20 if I gotta smack that right with you. Hey, bring him out too, I'll clean him out too. Tell Beam that he better stay right with you. The irony that today, a Beam reference track for Drake has leaked all over the internet, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. It's the exact same thing. Drake's not even changing the words and the hooks and the... Bro, these things are damn near identical, bro. From the patterns and all that you thought that Drake had naturally gained in his own style. No. There was always a ghostwriter or somebody sending him reference tracks, giving him that sauce. And today is showing us even more proof of that, bro. This was a battle of the people that really do it versus the machine, the corporation, the commercial guy, the guy that doesn't create his own art, bro. If you want to hear the reference track, I just dropped a video on YouTube reacting to it. Click the link in my bio to check it out.
The audacity of this fool. The audacity. Another one. He on some other next level coward type stuff. Bro, I'm convinced at this point that the real industry plan is Drake. The whole Drake brand is a fraud. And I know his fans say, well, he wrote for this person and he wrote for that person and he did it right in front of Kanye and Kanye can vouch. Well, damn it, I'm convinced at this point too that Drake probably memorized a bunch of shit that people wrote for him just so if the time ever came, he could write something down and they think he's a good writer. That's my conspiracy, and I'm sticking to it. All that stuff they say Drake wrote for people, he memorized it so he could try to show that he can write. But all this Drake talent stuff, all he's really good at is crooning and acting at this point. Having said that, man, we got another one, another reference, and this one sounds pretty much the same, man. So I'm gonna react to a couple of videos here and we're gonna talk about this, but no, on some real stuff, I really think that Drake is the real industry plant. Like when this all came out with Meek, you could make some arguments, you could survive it, but somebody's mad and they've been leaking it, and at this point, what has he really written? What has he really written? I'm starting to think not really anything, except I see somebody say he wrote the Heart Part 6. That would make sense.
Now it looks like the OVO sweatshop is retaliating against Drake, and they are leaking a whole bunch of reference tracks. They are leaking a whole bunch of ghostwriting tracks that Drake is responsible of covering, that Drake is responsible of using. The first one was on September 20th for the song Trump Tower featuring Central C, and it looks like this was the first of many that ended up getting leaked. The person that leaked that record back in the 20th of September this year was Dim Crux. Dim Crux is a producer for the artist Beam. Beam is an artist that is being credited for Her Loss, but he's also being talked about because of this reference track from Trump Tower. Now, under the impression of the song, going based off of Genius, they had stated that Trump Tower, that is with Drake and Central C, was leaked around the same time by Dim Crux. You can see it here. It says on Instagram. However, the other thing that it says is that this song could have been recorded in 2022 or early 2023. However, this is around the same time where Drake could have been working with Beam. And this is how Dim Crux, his DJ, was able to get a hold of these tracks, these reference tracks. Because
you know, man, and some of the fans of his will make it and try to minimize this, of course. Look, it probably wouldn't be as big a deal if this was understood from the beginning. He's a pop rap hybrid, and this is part of the format. But this is all his fault because he has said himself, number one, that he's the best, but that he writes these things and it just keeps coming out that he's not writing them. So, I mean, really, it's a scandal. This is scandalous. This is scandalous, man. And everybody will say, where there's smoke, there's fire when it comes to anything else with way less evidence. But when it comes to this guy, what do you got to have? Like they'll make an excuse if the whole forest is burning.
Because now what it looks like Trump Tower was actually a reference track that belonged to Beam. And it's his DJ on Instagram that's sharing all of this information. He's the one that shared that back in September 20th for Trump Tower. And he's sharing all of these other songs that come back for all the dogs. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, these are just reference tracks. Yeah, that is true. These are just reference tracks, but he was never credited for All the Dogs. You can see here, Beam for All the Dogs. He was never credited for that. The only thing publicly that Beam has been credited for when it comes to Drake's music is the records for Her Loss. You could see here on major distribution, he was credited as Tyshane Thompson. That's his real name. He goes by the professional name Beam, and he's a Jamaican-born American rapper. He is an artist that got credited on Her Loss. This is the Wikipedia page for Her Loss, and this is the only thing I could find him being credited for. However, when we go back to For All the Dogs, like I said, you can see here that Beam's producer is sharing reference tracks of For All the Dogs that Beam is tied to. But there is no information that comes from For All the Dogs that clarifies that Beam was working in the studio and helping Drake with this album. There is no proof of that. He is not credited for this album at all. And his producer is exposing all of this. I don't know if it's intentional. I don't know if it's unintentional, but it seems like
that shit's intentional. We ain't got to like play these games. It's intentional.
Is sharing all of this information, which takes us back to Euphoria. Because remember what Kendrick said in Euphoria. In the song Euphoria, Kendrick Lamar mentioned somebody that was ghostwriting for Drake. He talks about Beam. When Kendrick says, yeah, bring him out too, I'll clean him out too, tell Beam that he better stay right with you. He says Beam is a multi-talented artist, producer, songwriter within the music industry. He's collaborated with Beyonce, good friend with Justin Bieber, and notably writing credits for Drake and 21 Savage on Rich Flex and major distribution. Now, this is the problem. They thought that he was talking about Beam in regards to Her Loss. And Kendrick was saying that he needs the assistance from people like Beam to help write his tracks. However, if somebody is being credited, they can't be considered a ghostwriter. Technically, a ghostwriter is someone who doesn't get credit for the lyrics that they write. So when it comes to Her Loss, Beam did get credited, but he did not get credited for the songs that he helped reference when it came to For All the Dogs. He did not get no credit for All the Dogs at all. There is no information on the internet that points and leads us to believe that Beam was credited for these tracks. Therefore, Beam is a ghostwriter for Drake on the For All the Dogs album. And his producer is leaking all of these reference tracks, proving to people that this is the truth. I don't know why his DJ is doing this. I don't know if Beam is upset at Drake. I'm not sure if he was upset.
Listen, man. Let's go back to what Drake said, talking about his karma straight. Listen. People doing this because they got screwed over one way or another, whether that be in the form of not being paid, whatever, right? Somebody stealing their material and using it. Something happened. A lot of somebodies are upset, and it's coming back around full circle. Because if you treated people right, if you did them right, they'll keep their mouth shut. They keep their mouth shut. People typically don't leak shit and do stuff like this, right? Typically, unless they feel like they ain't got no choice. Now, sometimes it still happens, but as much as it's happening now, I just feel like there's a lot of people that's disgruntled. You got a lot of disgruntled workers in the sweatshop.
I don't know if Beam is upset at Drake. I'm not sure if he was upset because he got named in the beef. I'm not too sure. But at first, this account releases a Drake snippet. He releases a song that has something to do with Drake. That song, of course, is Trump Tower. Trump Tower is the song that he leaked. But then he later leaks that Beam is responsible for this track. Now, that song with Central C that's called Trump Tower, that song, from my understanding, I don't think it's out yet. But he had shared that track. And he's also sharing the fact that Beam is responsible for that track and that he was responsible for songs and lyrics that belong to For All the Dogs, that album. So his producer, his DJ, he is telling people, he's exposing Drake right now and telling people that even Drake's recent album, For All the Dogs, was ghostwritten by Beam.
Damn.
And now it makes more sense. Kendrick wasn't talking about Beam.
Damn. This boy's a fraud. Fraudry. That ain't just a funny name. That's the real deal, man. Damn. That's why he said, am I battling ghosts or AI? Like, bro, which way you try to come at me every way but the real way? You know what I'm saying?
Because of his contributions to Her Loss, he was talking about Beam being a ghostwriter for all of the other things that he doesn't get credit for. Remember, Her Loss came out first, and then For All the Dogs came out after. And if you go to the credits of For All the Dogs, Beam is not listed on there at all. Not by his real name, Tyshane, and not by his stage name at all. And we wouldn't have known this information if Dim Crux didn't share this to Instagram. And he shared multiple reference tracks today, at least 20 hours ago, less than a day ago. He's just been sharing all of these tracks. And I'm not too sure what the purpose is other than to expose the fact that Drake isn't responsible for that album, at least some of the records that belong to that album. But this lyric makes more sense now, because if Beam was someone that was credited, that he wouldn't be considered a ghostwriter.
Another reason I just thought about that people could be exposing them. Maybe somebody's paying them. I don't know. This seemed more like Disgruntled though. You know, somebody could be paying them like, hey, listen, I know they paid you not to say nothing, but look, I'm gonna pay you this. I just want you to put this out there, leak this, show people what this dude really about. That's a possibility. Maybe a little more far-fetched than just, you know, them being upset about something though.
But since he's not credited on For All the Dogs, this is what Kendrick was referring to. Not only is he responsible for major distribution and Rich Flex, but he's also responsible for all of these other songs that keep leaking that belong to Drake previously or belong to Drake on an album, whatever the case may be. What's crazier is that in the same video, it shares that an artist named Wolfface Joey released his song 3 Star earlier this year on January 25th, which features the same lyrics and melody as both of these songs. Who wrote the lyrics and melody? I wonder. Let's find out. And it's none other than Beam himself. Beam is the person that was writing reference tracks for more than just one person, for more than just Drake. This song, this reference track had been recycled 3 different times. Damn. And the person responsible for writing it is Beam. Beam is the guy responsible.
Niggas sharing bars like they got the bottom bunk in a 2-man cell. Oh no. Damn. They recycling lyrics around this bitch, huh?
For all of these reference tracks, this might be Drake's current ghostwriter as of right now, and Kendrick probably knew that. Beam is probably the ghostwriter that Drake uses currently and most frequently. I could assume. We'll keep it alleged. But why else would this producer release all of this information? Unless he's trying to point out that Beam is responsible for all of the current hits that Drake is making now, or at least back in 2021 to 2025, from what it looks like. It looks like he's been responsible helping Drake behind the scenes within the past 4 years, which is crazy to think that this is the new ghostwriter that Drake is heeding to. The real question is, why are they coming out now? Is it because of the beef? Is it because they're tired of not getting credited? This is apparently his producer. A lot of people are saying otherwise. A lot of people have something negative to say about them dropping these leaks. A lot of people don't want to believe it. The person that's been sharing this stuff on Twitter is this account IBVBNN, and he has stated all of the OV hoes in here are crying about me posting this. Got to take it up with Beam's producer on IG. He leaked it. Don't be surprised if more shit leaks soon. He also followed up by saying something else. He responded to this other person right here. He said, it's the fact that y'all believe anything, bro. Made his own version of the song, leaked it, then said he made up the song. Like, let's be for real for a minute. Who the F is Beam and why are we believing him? Beam is credited as a writer on a lot of Drake songs. Go check the credits on Her Loss and other songs from recent albums and thank me later. No pun intended. This is exactly what we're talking about. Beam has worked with Drake in the past. We just saw the information in front of us. So this is.
Yeah, man. I mean, they just trying to do these mental gymnastics, but we're gonna go over to Nolan's video because he went specifically into these songs and what they sounded like, which I really liked. And so let's check that out.
Remove me from the tags. I don't want my name associated with none of this. So apparently this producer, Dim Crux, is going rogue. And typically when this type of thing happens, it's because some payments have not been processed.
Yeah, I think that's probably more likely.
And again, this guy is leaking other records too that he's associated with. I don't know all the significance of everything that he's been putting on his IG, but this is one of them. All right. So this is it's made its way to Twitter. And this person here says, tell Beam that he better stay right with you. Damn, Crody, say it ain't so. So what you're going to hear at the top of this is Drake's song Trump Tower featuring Central C, which was leaked out September 20th of this year. So here you go. Hopefully we don't get flagged.
Hey, only attachments is on the motherfucking ratchets. Me and Meek say hash shit. We somersault like gymnastics. They don't give me credit, but I'd rather take the cash shit. Break out the elastic. I just got the groove back just like Angela Bassett.
Hey, is it just me or does that shit sound so corny and basic? Like probably at one point early in Drake's career, this would have been sounding good, but man, this sounds so. I can't fuck with it, man. It sounds basic as hell.
Why you pay for law school if you keep skipping classes? Want something more lavish, you wanna be a bad bitch. Tell me. Cast up, shawty, let's get it started. Down ass nigga, cause I'm down for you already. Down for you already. Down for you already. I ain't trying to manage you.
Now, it may sound like we playing a lot of this and you know, it's been 40 seconds, but it's actually vital that we hear all the pieces to this. It's going to go into the reference and the other track that's out there. So be patient with me.
Pill popping animal, and I know your friends too. Augustina, Diana, both of y'all a handful. Fucking in the Trump top, trying to get me canceled. Hey, cast up, shawty, let's get it started. Down ass nigga, cause I'm down for you already. Down for you already. Down for you already. I ain't trying to manage you. Pill popping animal, and I know your friends too. Augustina, Diana, both of y'all a handful. Fucking in a only attachments is on the motherfucking rap.
All right, so this here is Beam with his reference track for Drake's Trump Tower, which was leaked out in the wee hours of the morning.
The season I ain't had shit, I somersault like gymnastics. Far from perfect, yet I'm still far from absent. Tell.
Damn.
Tell me how you living. Shawty, I'm here to listen. Last time I know I ain't listen. Tell me I'm forgiven. You the one that crossed some lines, but you said I was tripping. Gassed up, shawty, let's get it started. Down ass nigga, go.
How do you explain your way out of this one? This is why Drake been posting those dumbass posts on Instagram. I don't know if some of y'all know he been making these posts on Instagram. He got the shirt on, he got all this other shit going on, but another distraction or attempted distraction and deflection. How do you explain this? Like, you got to be tired of trying to explain this if you one of those stands, bro. And just admit the boy ain't who he say he is, man. He ain't, like, nowhere near it.
I'm down for you already, down for you already, down when you already. Yeah, I ain't tryna manage you. Pill popping animal, girl, I only tell the truth. I ain't cap, I just close caption, close them curtains in the rape. Why you CC all your lawyers after I bought you all that CC? Now we TTYL, really? FUCKLOVE. When you cross all three lines, girl, this ain't Adidas. Check my car.
So you could tell he was he switched some things up here in this verse here. I guess these are things that he wanted Drake to say. Drake took what he wanted out of it, laid it down. They say, but wait.
Yes, the shawty, let's get it started. She like Rosalie, yes,
so as you can see here.
Oh my goodness, bro. Oh my goodness. Oh man. This is the rabbit hole go deep. I think this is what Kendrick meant. They want to talk about no kitty stuff, no PDL. He talk about this. Rabbit hole go deep. I can go further, I promise. You know? V12, it's a fast one. Core audience stomach that. Then tell them where you get your abs from. Tell them where you get your raps from. Tell them where you get your tracks from. Damn.
We now have songwriting credits. 3-star performed by Wolfface Joey. Written by Kyrique Palmer, Demario Loong, James Patrick St. Fort. Whoa. Is that the real life ghost? Jordan Douglas, Joseph Badejo, Michael Bonsu, and we've got Tashawn Thompson. They have the Wikipedia here for Beam, hip-hop musician, and his name is indeed Tashawn Thompson. All right? So we have proof here that Beam wrote on the 3-star record by Wolfface Joey, which was the last thing we played, which sounds like his hook.
Yeah.
Written by Beam, and this song is actually publicly released. All right? This song from Wolfface Joey is not a leak. It's not something that's circulating in the industry. It's actually already out.
Damn.
So this is the YouTube video for Wolfface Joey 3-star official visualizer, and it's got approximately 30,000 views on it. You can't see it because my screen is all out of whack, but the song was released 9 months ago, January 8th of 2025. Right? This is a small artist. I can't say independent because I don't know his situation, but a small artist nonetheless, someone I've never heard of in my life. Now, when you make your way to the Genius page for the song Trump Tower by Drake and Central C, look at the producer credits here. It says Cash Cobain, who was largely credited as the producer on this, but we've also got Frank Rio, Vinick, Dim Crux, and Billy Berkey. Now again, Dim Crux is the person who's leaking this information out on the net. So he literally produced that record. He produced the one with Beam on it, and of course it's the same record with Drake. So he's Beam's producer. I don't know if he's trying to expose Beam in the process, if that relationship has soured, or if this is an issue specifically with Drake and Beam is just a casualty of the situation in order to get his point across. But whatever it is, we now are hearing a Beam reference track for Drake. Okay? Which a year ago, Kendrick Lamar was name dropping Beam specifically. Now, as we make our way over to Dim Crux Instagram page here, you see all of these audio files, which he's been releasing for the last, I would say, 24 hours or so. I don't want to play the audio on this stuff, but we got this song here from Beam called For All the Dogs, which I find to be a very interesting title, as that's the name of Drake's last album, Beam, For All the Dogs. I'm not finna play it though. Okay, we got another one here, MED, Beam, which this is the reference that we just listened to. We have Trump Tower Noel reference. That's the Drake version. We've got this DV Corone V1. We've got another Beam reference. Gesco Beam Forgiven, some song called Forgiven. People are wondering if this is a reference that's supposed to be on the Iceman album. I don't know. We've got another one here called Take the Crown V3. And he says, someone tag Baby J, please. Got another one, Me Time V2. Now, as you go through his story, this is where you see people that are reaching out to him that are not fond of whatever it is that he's trying to do here. Now, first, he posts this about the stock market, says, let's see them layers peel off. But that's not, I don't know if that's pertaining to anything with this, right? Let me turn this volume off.
All right, I'm gonna let that go right there because he just kind of go through all the stories on that page. Y'all can go check that out. You can check out the whole video from Nolan. He went through everything. But hey, man, look, at one point, maybe years ago, this might have just been kind of funny. You kind of, oh, Drake ain't doing it. But like at some point, we got to be serious about this, right? If we haven't already. I've been serious about it, but you got to just admit that the Drake brand is probably totally fabricated and that Drake is really an industry plant. That from the beginning, they saw that they had someone who fit the stereotype, light skin, Canada dude who can halfway sing, had a nice little voice, right? Maybe he did have a little right skills. Maybe he could do a little, but that's all they needed. That's all they needed. Because remember, this is the industry and we can put the right people in place to make this work. We just put the machine behind them and we create. And then at some point along the line, though, he started to believe that it was all him. And it just wasn't. And whatever happened, it caused all these people over time to start putting this out there. It happened. And at this point now, we do got to say, man, that this guy and the work he's put out, despite all the streaming numbers and all of that, It's in large part due to a team of people, and unlike what he's saying, it's not him. It's not him, man. It's not him. So I don't know where this is going to lead. If this is going to matter as much, I think his name, his brand, and everything's already been tarnished, and it'll never be the same. So we'll see, though. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll see y'all on the next one.